Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'd like to discuss how to deal with criticism. This video comes from the fact that I freshly received some pretty harsh criticism regarding my newest release, Healer's Secrets of the Academy. We'll get more into the details about those reviews later, but for the time being, I'd like to start with saying if you aim to be a writer or if you are a writer already, you need to know how to deal with criticism. If you can't deal with criticism, you have two options pretty much, and that's A, figure out how to deal with it, or B, run very far away, because that's just kind of part of it. If you're putting yourself out there, you're putting your work out there, it's personal, we all get that, and we got to figure out how to handle that. So first and foremost, with the advent of social media, people are reviewing content on social media all over the place, and some of it's nice, most of it's nice, but some of it ain't pretty. The first thing you need to understand as a writer is to never respond publicly to that criticism, especially not on the forum that the reviewer hosts. If you respond publicly on their forum, all you aim to do is make yourself look bad. You are on their forum, on their property, and you're defending your work, which in turn is trying to discredit their work, and all you aim to do is make yourself look petty, and you're not going to change anyone's mind because the only people reading that are people who already trust that reviewer and their content. So that is the number one rule. Never respond publicly to these criticisms. It only serves to make you look bad. Realistically speaking, you probably should just stay out of it entirely. Like, put it in the back of your mind and be like, okay, that happened, and move on with your life. I have only personally responded to one major criticism, and that was one of the ones that I'll be discussing here in this video. That probably wasn't the most ideal way to handle it, but I contacted that person in private. It was a one-on-one conversation between he and I, and, sometimes you just need to follow your heart and do what feels right, and that's what felt right to me, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it, and so I did. It's also important to be able to identify constructive criticism. We live in a world of enlightened culture. Pretty much everybody feels like they can criticize work or that they have the right to be a critic and whatever it may be. And we, as content creators, need to be able to identify what criticism is actually valuable to us. For example, some of the criticism that I received from Healer's Secrets of the Academy essentially painted me as a sexist writer. And I need to step back and look at that and be like, am I going to reconstruct the entire way that I write female characters based upon the criticism of two individuals who didn't even finish my story? And the fact of the matter is no, because I know better than what they said. Everyone has their opinions, everyone has their thoughts, and we're entitled to those things. But at the end of the day, as a content creator or as a writer, you need to be able to identify quality, constructive criticism over individual instances of criticism. So, for example, I've also heard from a lot of people that my characterizations need work in my book. I've heard that a lot from healers in particular. I have a very large cast, and of the 12 characters, most people only say 3 characters really stand out. Some people say none of them do. So it's like, okay, I've heard that from an overwhelming amount of people. I will take that into consideration. I will use that to build and make my stories better in the future. And that is an absolutely good way to use criticism. That's how it should be used. That's how it should be handled. You also, as a creator or a writer or whatever you are, should not use that to crush yourself. As I had mentioned before with the ideas of my female characters being sexist or me being sexist in the way in which I write them, I know better than that. And so I am not going to wallow in that, and I'm not going to let it crush me. I am going to understand that that was just the view of 2 particular individuals who felt a certain way and once again didn't even finish the story. So it's like, you can't really judge a whole character when you haven't seen their arc in its entirety. Just some important things to pass on as a writer, as a creative, as anyone who's putting their work out there: how to handle criticism and what to do with it. Like I said before, don't respond to it, especially not publicly on their forum. If it's something that really bugged you and really grinds your gears, find a way to contact that person in private and be like, hey, I don't feel like that was justified or accurate or fair, or however you want to word it. Be professional about it. You never want to be slandered, and we shouldn't stand up for slander. But on the same token, it is their forum with their followers and their viewers. So you coming on as a forum entity, as an author, and being like, "Hey, that's not what that was. That's inaccurate." All you serve to do is make yourself look petty. So avoid that at all costs. Be sure you're identifying the criticisms that you can use to better yourself, and use it to better yourself, because that's what it's out there and that's what it's there for. As I said before, this all stems from some recent reviews that I was given on my Healer Secrets of the Academy book. People will feel the way that people feel, and I'm not going to let it drag me down. I'm going to keep on writing, and we're going to get past it. I just wanted to get that off my chest.